exactly is happening when you talk about the housing market in India, especially in the city of Mumbai. We have Prashant Thakur, who's the head of research and advisory at Anurag Group, joining us on the show right now. A very good morning to you, Prashant. Thank you so much for joining us on ET Now. And let me firstly ask about Mumbai, because that particular market and the region has seen a lot of redevelopment activity, especially if you talk about prime areas like Worli, and not just Worli. Let's talk about the suburbs as well. There is constant redevelopment day in and day out. If you could help us understand what's exactly driving this transformation, how do you see this impacting the overall real estate trends in the city?
First of all, if you talk about Mumbai, or let's say MMR as a whole, it accounts for 45 to almost 48% of value of real estate sold across the top 7 cities in the country. So undoubtedly, it's kind of a powerhouse when it comes to residential sales. And there are several factors apart from being the financial capital of India, the huge amount of job opportunity it generates. It has also seen a huge amount of infrastructure upgrade. So if you look at Mumbai, the entire city was dug up a couple of years back, and we are seeing that all these infrastructure projects that started are seeing day of the light. And that's why we are seeing a flurry of activity in the peripheral areas, where huge amount of development are coming up thanks to the connectivity. While we talk about the island city, thanks to the redevelopment, a lot of projects are coming up, and also within the city, the infrastructure upgrade, be it in terms of flyover, be it in terms of your coastal road, or let's say metro. I think that has helped the city a lot. So real estate needs a couple of things for good amount of growth. One is obviously job creation, where Mumbai wins hands down. Good infrastructure. I think we are seeing a huge amount of upgrade over there, and quality developer. So undoubtedly, if you look at the developers who are present in Mumbai, they're all grade A developers with a huge track record of financial discipline and an operational excellence. So that's what I think has kept Mumbai at the top of the league table when it comes to both in terms of volume as well as the value of real estate sold. And also the redevelopment activity is going to continue for coming years, which will keep the market upticking, especially if you talk about the luxury market of Worli and South Bombay.
Right, correct. Prashant, morning. This is Nehi also joining in the conversation. Now, continuing what you were talking about MMR itself, many developers are aggressively acquiring land parcels in the MMR region for new projects. Do you believe these fresh developments in Navi Mumbai, Thane and Palghar that we're seeing can match the demand that is being seen for these redeveloped areas of Mumbai? Because you also have infra projects like the coastal road, metro expansion. All of these are making more locations accessible. Do you believe this could reduce the pressure on redevelopment and encourage new greenfield development? So do you believe that Mumbai is already so clustered and so crowded when it comes to developments that redevelopment is the way to go?
I think if you look at the city, I think redevelopment is the way forward, because the city, island city, if you talk about it, it's still very cluttered. We see a lot of urban slums pocket in the city. Having said that, as the city grows, and as I mentioned that it's a financial capital of India today, 50% of income taxpayers are from Mumbai. The city needs to expand, and that's why we are seeing huge amount of land acquisition being done by the developers in the peripheral areas, where you'll see a lot of green projects coming up. While the island city, you will see good amount of redevelopment. So it's going to be a good mix of redevelopment in the city, while as good amount of projects would come in terms of greenfield projects in the suburbs and the outskirts. And the outskirts will also have a good appetite for absorption, because airport is coming up, the infrastructure has kind of ensured that the connectivity is good, and also it is the city is attracting a lot of investors and home buyers in and across Mumbai. So that's a factor which will kind of propel the growth in the peripherals. People who have kind of missed out buying property in the South Bombay because of huge capital appreciation that they have seen, might find respite in buying something in the outskirts of the city, because everybody wants to have some kind of exposure in the Mumbai real estate. So that's where I feel that it's a good mix of redevelopment as well as greenfield projects.
Let me actually now put the spotlight on the rest of India and let's talk about the sector as a whole, in fact, because you have these new launches. Now they account about 42% of the total sales. Do you think that now we are seeing a shift in the way how people are actually investing in the entire real estate space, basically putting in the money in under construction projects rather than actually going ahead and investing or buying a ready to move in?
See, people were kind of earlier reluctant to buy a new launch project because of a lot of indiscipline that was prevalent before RERA came in. Thanks to RERA, that fear is now gone, and good graded developers are kind of dominant. Now that's where these buyers have now confidence of going and buying under construction property at an early stage because of two benefits. Number one, they get good rate at the launch stage. And also they have a long runway for their EMIs to kick in. They get attractive payment plans also because in a ready to move in apartment, they'll have to pay a slightly higher price and the money is paid upfront. So that's where I think this factor is playing out. And also we need to consider the fact that the average age of home buyers have come down. So that's why they want to take a longer exposure. They want to get into the property buying cycle at an early stage where they have a stretched payment plan. And they can, manage their finances well. And then, the chances of getting delayed or let's say project not getting completed are minimal in the age of RERA, especially if you talk about MahaRERA, which has been quite stringent.
Sorry, I just wanted to come in there, Prashant, and also correct me if I'm wrong. You did speak of the fact that now you have RERA. MahaRERA is very aggressive. I'm very much aware of that. And also now that you have RERA, so that's one of the reasons why also people have more confidence in actually going ahead and investing in an under construction project. But then you also have a lot of taxes on that particular front as well. You have GST that you need to pay, right? So you don't see that as a deterrent?
See, that's not a deterrent in a pure term. For example, let's say if you have to, look at the offset that you see, the kind of slightly higher price you pay for a ready to move in property and the GST that you pay on under construction property would not be that much. And it also depends on the kind of finances that you're planning. As I said earlier, that for a ready to move in property, you'll have to pay it upfront. While for an under construction property, you can avail a construction payment plan where your finances are well distributed over a longer period of time. So that's a trade-off that a buyer needs to decide. But having said that, the average completion cycle of a project has also come down. So that is also giving a confidence to the buyers to go for under construction project or a project which is recently launched.
Prashant, just lastly on the departing note, while we're on a time crunch, could you just quickly give us a view, because some micro markets have seen strong launches recently, but on the flip side in Q3 we've seen that some developers have had zero new launches. So this entire report that you've come out where it says that 42% of new sales have been in new launches, how does this balance play going ahead as well, because we are seeing some real estate players are in a lull period with zero launches in Q3?
See, in the third quarter of financial year, there was some issue with approvals which kind of delayed the new launches. While there are certain pockets where the launches are still kind of taking time, and there are certain pockets like Hyderabad where the developers are trying to control new launches deliberately because it was slowly reaching a zone of I would say oversupply that was putting pressure on the sales. But again, having said that, we have seen a good amount of uptick in terms of new launches in this current quarter. And if you kind of try to link the fact that there has been an increased proportion of sales of new launch projects in the overall sales, the increased launches has resulted into a slight uptick into the overall sales. So there are still pockets of certain South City micro market where the launches are getting delayed, while cities like MMR and NCR are seeing good amount of launches taking place.
All right then, Prashant, we'll leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us in ET Now to talk about the real estate scenario in Mumbai, in MMR region particularly, and also talking about a pan-India trend that you're seeing in the real estate and the housing market. Thank you so much for being part of the show. If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.